Hi everyone, it's great to be back with you on this Facebook Live. And I'm going to continue my series, the Q&A series on self-care and mindfulness. But first, to introduce myself, if you have not met me before, my name is Laura Smothers Chu, and I am the CEO and founder of Befriended Heart. I help daughters navigate their parents' dementia because my dad was diagnosed with dementia about 5 years ago. So also want to tell you guys, I am super excited to share that I am now a certified senior advisor, which basically means that I have learned all of the things about retirement and all the way to the end of life for elders. And so I am excited to share that with you, the daughters, of what to expect for your parents in the light of a dementia diagnosis. I'll also be able to apply my knowledge as a certified dementia practitioner for you. So, very exciting. And so before I go into answering this question in the sense of another tip for mindful activities that you can do, I wanted to talk to you about what I'm going through personally. So if you've seen my other videos, my dad was diagnosed with dementia about 5 years ago, and so he is actually now in the middle to late stages. So I'm happy to say that my parents are going to finally be moving closer to me in the DC area, which is great because right now they're 3.5 hours away. And that has been challenging, I think, as a daughter living long distance and trying to help with all the things by myself since I am an only child. So I am happy about that, but I can tell you, to be completely honest, it's going to be a bit of a bittersweet Christmas for us because it will be the last time that my parents will be together in the same house and I'll be with them. So I'm kind of bracing myself for a grievous holiday, but it's also, a new beginning, and I'm feeling great that I'll be able to help my parents better when they're in my area. That being said, I went to a grief session, and they mentioned reminiscing. So you have probably heard or seen, if you've done any research, that reminiscing can be very helpful for people with dementia. So having photo albums of past happy times could be helpful. It also depends on the person. So if that will make them sad and upset, then you probably don't want to go that route. So it's always good to do a little taste of like a picture and see how they react and kind of gauge how to move forward based on that. But it occurred to me that reminiscing can also be helpful for us in managing our stress. So, I feel like as adults in this day and age, and as I've mentioned in my past videos, that we're always looking at our phones or we're watching videos, it's like so hard to live in the present, but we're also always living in the future. And reminiscing is a way to bring, in my opinion, is a way to bring your past to your present. And I feel like imagination is something that was really reinforced when we were children, and how, who here had an imaginary friend? Leave a comment below. I didn't, but I did have quite an imagination. And I feel like we as adults right now use our imagination for negative things. I'm a big worrier. And I think that's why I'm such a good planner. We use our imagination for negativity now. We think, what if this happens and what if that happens? And we just cause ourselves more stress. But my question is, why not use your imagination now to reminisce on the happy moments? So for me, I can tell you what I'm going to do on Christmas morning when I'm at my parents'. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to remember how Christmas was for me when I was a kid. It was before I knew that, the truth about Santa. It was, before I really had anything to worry about. Of course, before my dad was diagnosed with dementia, before I was trying to be ambitious in my career, it was when I had that childlike wonder. And I always looked forward to Christmas at my grandparents' house. So what I'm going to do, and I'll do this for you now, just to give you an example of what you can do. And let me just say, it's not just if you celebrate Christmas. It can be any holiday that you've celebrated with your family. And ideally, a holiday that you celebrated with your parent who now has dementia but did not in the past. So I'm going to take you back to when I was a kid for Christmas. So what you're going to do is just take a deep breath, and then you're going to use your imagination as almost a time machine and go back to exactly where you had a wonderful moment. So for me, it was when I would wake up my cousin that we would we would get up really late. So I would take a nap and then wake up at about 12:30, and at that point there were things already in the stockings. And so I would wake up my cousin and we would go look really quick and then go back to bed. And so what I do is I immerse myself into the setting. So it was at my grandparents' house. I try to remember the smells of the, freshly baked cookies that we had earlier that day that was still wafting in the air. I am picturing waking up my cousin to check out what we got in our stockings. I am, tiptoeing into the living room where the fireplace was to check out what we got. I'm listening to the silence of everyone else sleeping except for us being, secretive and trying to see what we got. All of the senses, it's really important to bring in all of your senses and really put yourself in that exact spot. Remember the anticipation that you felt, the love and the excitement. And again, the childlike wonder that I think is so lost now that we're adults and we have so many things that we're worrying about. None of that existed. Try to revisit that. And again, as I mentioned in all my self-care and mindful videos, you want to try to incorporate all 5 of your senses to really transport yourself back there. So I hope that will help you no matter what you're facing for Christmas. I know as a daughter of dementia, I never know what to expect when I visit my parents. My dad could have, gotten worse. He could have a good day. You really just never know what to expect. And so having this in your back pocket and the fact that we can remember things, use that to your advantage and to manage your stress. So, and also too, I could see people thinking that this might make you more depressed because it's not your reality. But what you want to do after you do this mindful, and it's actually kind of a meditation, that you change your mindset and you remember how you felt with that childlike wonder and that innocence and that appreciation of the simple things. And no matter what you're going through, try to see those moments of joy. So if you appreciated this tip, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel down below, or you could leave a comment. I'd love to hear what your memory is of your favorite holiday. So I hope to hear from you soon, and I will see you in a couple weeks. And I also wanted to tell you guys that I am next month and all of 2019, I'm going to be bringing in experts to interview in different areas of industries that dementia touches. So basically, I'm gonna in January next month, I'm gonna be bringing in a nutritionist, and she actually works with daughters to increase cognitive reserve and delay or prevent dementia, which is awesome. And then in February, I'm going to bring in another expert in the medical field. So I'd love it if you could check out my channel and subscribe, and you will be the first one to get those videos when I post them. Thanks so much. I hope you have happy holidays. Bye.